Green anaconda, the heaviest snake on Earth. Not the longest, the reticulated python edges it out in length. But pound for pound, nothing in the snake world comes close. Up to 20 feet of verified, documented muscle, and reports beyond that exist mostly in exaggeration and folklore. It doesn't chase. It doesn't need to. It waits beneath the water's surface, invisible, patient, then wraps itself around whatever made the mistake of getting close and squeezes until the heart stops. No venom, no drama, just physics. But here's what most people get wrong. The anaconda doesn't crush bones. It compresses the circulatory system, cutting off blood flow until the prey loses consciousness. Cleaner than it sounds, more terrifying than it looks. And the moment it's done, the jaw unhinges and the meal disappears whole. Deer, caiman, the occasional jaguar, all of it, gone. The Amazon didn't build a monster, it built a perfect machine. One that has kept refining itself across millions of years of continuous evolution. Because in this ecosystem, standing still is how you go extinct. Jaguar. Every jungle has a predator at the top. The Amazon gave theirs a bite force that cracks turtle shells and punctures skulls directly. Not the throat, the skull. Jaguars don't suffocate their prey like lions. They go straight through the bone into the brain. One bite, instant kill. Efficiency redefined. They swim, they climb. They hunt at night using eyes that collect light 8 times better than human eyes. They stalk caimans into the water and drag them onto land. They don't have a natural enemy in this ecosystem. Nothing hunts them back. In indigenous mythology across South America, the jaguar wasn't just feared, it was the forest. The embodiment of power, darkness, and divine authority. Kings wore their skins not as fashion, but as a claim. I contain this. Very few things in nature justify that kind of arrogance. The jaguar earns it completely. Black caiman. Crocodilians have been on Earth for 200 million years. They watched the dinosaurs go extinct and didn't flinch. The black caiman is the Amazon's version, the largest predator in the river system, with verified adults reaching 16 to 18 feet, and armored in scales dark enough to absorb heat and vanish at the water's surface at night. It hunts using pressure sensors along its jaw that detect a single ripple from meters away. You don't have to make noise, you just have to exist near the water. Unlike its African cousins, the black caiman is a generalist killer. Fish, deer, capybara, anacondas, dogs, cattle, and occasionally humans. It doesn't specialize because it doesn't have to. It is the apex of the river the same way the jaguar owns the land. Together, they split the Amazon between them, and everything else lives in the space those two allow. Brazilian wandering spider. Most dangerous spiders build webs and wait. This one walks. Hence the name. It roams the jungle floor at night, hides inside banana clusters and shoes and clothing left on the ground, and when disturbed, doesn't retreat. It raises its front legs, displays its red fangs, and attacks. Repeatedly. Multiple bites per encounter. Venom that triggers simultaneous pain signals across the entire nervous system, causes uncontrolled muscle activity, and in males, produces a symptom so medically bizarre that the venom is now being studied as a treatment for erectile dysfunction. The Amazon made a spider so potent it accidentally solved a human health problem. It ranks among the most venomous spiders on Earth to humans, a title genuinely contested, with the Sydney funnel web spider making an equally strong scientific claim. The distinction between them is still debated by toxinologists. What isn't debated is the outcome of an untreated bite from either, the size of a human hand, the consequence of a much larger problem. Fer-de-Lance. Responsible for more human deaths in the Americas than any other snake. Not the anaconda, not the bushmaster, this one. Growing up to 8 feet, cryptically patterned to disappear against the jungle floor, and equipped with hemotoxic venom that doesn't just kill cells, it dissolves them. Tissue necrosis, internal hemorrhaging. The blood loses its ability to clot, and the body essentially begins breaking down from the inside while the victim is still conscious. It's also irritable, fast, and found near human settlements because it follows rodents, and rodents follow people. This is the snake that made working farmland in Central and South America genuinely life-threatening for centuries. Plantation workers were its most common victims, not explorers, not researchers, ordinary people doing ordinary work in the wrong place. The Fer-de-Lance didn't evolve to hunt humans, it just never learned to tolerate them either. Bullet ant. named after what it feels like to be stung. The Schmidt sting pain index runs from 1 to 4. The bullet ant sits at 4.0, the highest documented rating on the scale, shared by a small number of insects including the warrior wasp and the executioner wasp, all of them competing for the title of worst experience an insect can deliver to a human nervous system. People who've been stung describe a wave of pure, radiating agony lasting a full 24 hours, not fading, constant, for a full day. The Satere Mawe people of Brazil weave bullet ants into gloves, still alive, still stinging, and young men wear them as part of a manhood ritual. 10 minutes per session, 20 sessions before the rite is complete. Hands become temporarily paralyzed. Tremors last for days. They do it anyway because enduring the worst thing the Amazon can inflict with your bare hands means you're ready to face everything else in it. Hard to argue the logic. Piranha. Here's what the movies got right. Piranhas have interlocking razor-sharp teeth and powerful jaws that can strip flesh from bone in minutes. Here's what the movies got wrong. Almost everything else. Piranhas rarely attack healthy humans unprovoked. They're primarily scavengers and fish eaters. The feeding frenzies Hollywood loves happen under specific conditions: drought, trapped fish, blood, and enclosed water. Remove those conditions and piranhas are skittish, cautious, and mostly interested in each other's fins. But here's the part that makes them genuinely terrifying anyway: their hearing. Piranhas detect distress signals in water, the specific frequencies made by struggling prey, with extraordinary precision. They don't attack randomly, they listen for weakness, and then they come. Which means the Amazon's most famous predator isn't aggressive, it's patient. It waits for the moment you stop being okay, then it acts. Which is honestly scarier than mindless aggression ever could be. Poison dart frog. Smaller than a thumb. Brighter than anything that should exist in a rainforest. That color is a message. I am not hiding from you. I want you to see me. And I want you to remember. Several species of poison dart frog live throughout the Amazon basin, the Dendrobates genus among the most studied, carrying alkaloid toxins potent enough to cause cardiac arrest through skin contact alone. Indigenous hunters discovered this, coating blowgun darts with their secretions to create weapons capable of dropping prey in seconds. The most toxic species of all, the golden poison frog, technically lives outside the Amazon, in the Pacific coastal rainforests of Colombia's Chocó region, separated from the basin by the Andes entirely. But its mechanism applies across the family. These frogs don't produce their own toxins. They acquire them by consuming specific alkaloid-rich ants and beetles in the wild. Take them out of that environment and they lose their toxicity, not over generations, but within months. Captive-born individuals are harmless from day one. The most lethal amphibians on Earth are only lethal because of what they eat. In the Amazon, even the food chain is a weapon. Next video. Saltwater crocodile, the largest reptile alive. The only animal with a documented habit of learning human patrol routes and adjusting its hunting accordingly. Not instinct, strategy. A creature that may be actively outsmarting us. That one deserves its own conversation.